The Mexican Revolution is one of the most important events in the history of their country. It could be considered that this event ranged from the opposition to the government of Porfirio Diaz and his overthrow to the establishment of a post-revolutionary government. In 1910, thousands of Mexicans, influenced by politicians and caudillos who promised land and freedom to the population, revolted against the mandate of Porfirio Diaz. Porfirio Diaz was born in Oaxaca in 1830. He was a veteran of the French intervention and with time gained experience in the political field. In 1880, Diaz got the presidency of a desperate and economically hurt country, since they had recently lost a major part of their territory, which is California now, and had many external debts. He ruled the country for almost 30 years, between 1876 and 1911, in 7 differential presidential terms. This controversial ruler is defended by some for the economic and infrastructural development he promoted in the country, since he put the first telephone line in Mexico, started the creation of the General Hospital, created the National University, and ordered the construction of the first railway roads. But on the other hand, he is also condemned by others for the lack of political freedom and inequality caused by the economic model of his government. The discontent of the people during that time was notorious, since it was caused by the social inequality, concentration of wealth, and the disposition of land from peasants. Francisco I. Madero, dissatisfied with the working conditions and equality of the workers, created a Plan de San Luis, which consisted in a successful armed uprising against the Porfirio Diaz mandate on November 20, 1910. Madero later gained the Mexican presidency, but the armed struggle still continued, affecting the Mexican life and the governmental life. The groups that fought against the Diaz mandate only had in common their opposition to the ruler. There was no formal alliance between them. When Francisco y Madero became president, the difference started to rise. Many groups like the one led by Emiliano Zapata claimed that the land stolen by the landowners close to the Porfirio regime had not been returned to the peasants. El Pacto de la Embajada was a pact in which the opposition forces agreed to unite against President Francisco y Madero, to recognize him and removing him from the mandate, putting General Victoriano Huerta in his place. This episode of the Mexican Revolution ended up with the murder of Francisco y Madero and the vice president at the moment, Jose Maria Pino Juarez. This event is known as the Decena Trágica. There was still some confusion among the Mexican people. Workers, peasants, ranchers, and miners whose basic demands remained unfulfilled didn't see a solution. During those days of agony and confusion, there were two groups in disagreement with the current government that was being led. One of them was the Constitutionalist Army, whose leader was Pancho Villa, and they were located in the north, while the other group located in the south was known as the Zapatista Army, whose leader was Emiliano Zapata. They made an alliance to defeat the system and favor the peasants, the population of Mexico, and end with the current government, which was Venustiano Carranza. Venustiano Carranza government was recognized by the European power and the United States legitimate, causing him a lot of pressure created by the people, by the two groups that lied to favor the peasants and workers, and ended calling for a Constitute Congress that led to the Constitution of 1917. Thanks to the Constitution, agrarian distribution, labor rights, and the property guarantee of the ownership of the nation was accomplished and favored the people. In 1920, Mexico saw the end of the revolution. Thanks to the sacrifices and tedious work of the heroes of the nation, heroes of the country, Mexico got rid of a dictatorship of more than 30 years and got rid of the peasant inequality. Today, Francisco y Madero, Pancho Villa, Emiliano Zapata, and many others are remembered with love and admiration among the Mexican people. We commemorate the Mexican Revolution on November 20 because that was the day proposed by Madero as the beginning of a generalized armed uprising against the dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz. However, the process that we know as the Mexican Revolution is more complicated than a simple conflict between two sides. Thank you.